Hello, everyone. Welcome to ChuggieBets College Football Saturday Edition. We're running a two-man show here today. I'm Andy. That's Al. Before we get into the picks, let's chug a beer.
Who's ready to chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks? Welcome to ChuggieBets.
Spicy.
Good stuff. All right, so we're going to go a little bit rapid fire here tonight. Matt and Danny did provide us some picks that we're going to give out on their behalf. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Our first pick of the weekend is for Saturday at noon. Rutgers going into Penn State. Al, can you make a case for why Danny is taking Rutgers plus 20.5?
So I'm going to combine two ideas here. One, it's too many points. It's an Andy parable, right? The second being that Rutgers has been a cover machine this season. I think it's kind of dropped off a little bit lately, but that tends to happen when you play really good teams. Granted, Penn State is a really good team, but 20.5 is a lot. So I understand it. Plus, it's that
All right, there we go.
Michigan
Scarlet Knights getting 20.5. Yeah, it could be both a mental letdown and a physical. You got beaten up by that defense. Yeah. So, right. I can see that. Next, we've got the newly minted and soon to be gone Big 12 matchup of Oklahoma BYU. I'm taking BYU at home plus the 24. That's 2 points for BYU at home. So
the classic.
Any thoughts there, Al?
Should we keep matchup? I love that classic Big 12 matchup. Oklahoma BYU
for me, right? BYU joined this year. Next year, Oklahoma's leaving. So
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw somebody describe, the big game against Oregon Washington a couple of weeks ago. Described it as the future Big Ten matchup.
Yeah,
that's accurate.
Oh, it's gonna get so ugly. Oh, can you imagine what is Oregon and Washington? What are their teams gonna look like in 5 years? Are they just gonna be a bunch of fat white linemen and untalented quarterbacks? Or are they still
big old linemen? Yep.
God, yeah.
That's knife right through my heart, Al.
I'm sorry.
All right. Speaking of Big Ten football, that's all right. It is. You're right. I shouldn't have gone to Illinois if I wanted to care about football. Michigan State is playing Indiana. The over there. These are two not very good teams, but I think the offenses are better than the defenses, so I think they'll be able to put up some points. Indiana put up almost that many on Illinois that last week by themselves. So I'm taking the over. Michigan State, Indiana over 47.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I watched more than 30 seconds of either of those teams this year.
I had neither until Indiana played Illinois last week. So
yeah, and hung 45 on you guys.
Something like that. Yeah, it was not pretty. We won though, so that's all that's important.
True.
Matt in a Big Ten game, which makes a whole lot more sense. That's probably much smarter than my over in a Big Ten game. Purdue Northwestern, he's going under 47.5. I like that a lot. I think Purdue Northwestern under is a good pick.
I wonder what Northwestern unders have hit at this season. It's got to be in the black, right?
You would think so. They have been better than people thought they'd be. So maybe they've gone over a few times, but I'd have to look. All right, this next one is going to be near and dear to your heart, and please don't hate me. Louisville's playing Miami. It's a pick. I'm taking Louisville.
It's the right side.
I just think they're a better football team. All right. I'll be rooting for you, even against my bet, but
yeah, that's fair.
It has to be done. And then SMU going into Memphis. I'm taking Memphis plus 8. It's too many points for Memphis at home. Al, the next 3 are all Danny and Matt. You want to rattle those 3 out for us?
Yeah. So Danny's playing 14.5 with Mississippi State at home to Southern Miss. I guess just because. He's also on the under 33
Mississippi State
in
just
East
fired their
Carolina
coach.
and Navy. Oh, so that's probably a new coach bounce, I guess.
Maybe. I think Danny's a believer in that, right?
Yeah, and then East Carolina sucks, and they're playing a service academy, so he's on under 33. That makes sense.
Yep.
And then Matt has a very specific note on the Sacred Heart UConn game. Matt is taking whatever the fuck Sacred Heart plus number is at game time. So I'm assuming Sacred Heart is going to be big dogs, or maybe not. Maybe just like normal dogs. But Matt's taking Sacred Heart, and I guess that's just fading UConn play. I doubt it's confidence in Sacred Heart that's selling him on that play. I'm pretty sure.
There's no way he knows anything about Sacred Heart, right?
He's probably about to find something out about Sacred Heart in a very disappointing fashion, would be my guess. For his sake, I hope he hits.
Possible. And please, nobody watch that game. I don't even know if it'll be available.
I don't know if you
outside of Connecticut, but
I don't know if there will be cameras at that game.
All right. Moving on into the 2:00 window. Rice is going into Charlotte. I'm going over 47.5 in that one. Hoping for some scoring and some Biff Poggi man titties. That's what I'm gonna be watching for in that one. And then Al, you and I are on the same play in the next one. He wishes. He wishes. He loses 100 pounds, he might have 47.5-inch waistline. I think you and I are on the same play in the next one. You want to give that one out?
Yeah, so I guess I got this at a really good number. Or maybe the book I saw was just had it the wrong number to open. But App State plus 12. You have it at plus 10.5. That's probably a fairer number to take it at. But I really like App State to keep this one close this week. I know we've been talking about James Madison and how good they've been this year, particularly on defense. But App State has been pretty good. They've lost games that they win in the past, but they haven't lost games by much. All of their games have been tight. It's still a really good squad, well-coached team. So I think this is probably James Madison's biggest test this year.
Yeah, agreed. I'm with you. I do think the 12 was the opening number. You got it right at open, and it's been falling ever since. So if you guys are going to follow us on that one, bet it sooner rather than later. Get the best of the number. It's still above a touchdown, but the best I'm seeing anywhere is 9.5 now. So.
Oh wow, yeah.
We're on the same side as the Sharps, Al.
Hey,
or we are the Sharps.
We are the Sharps. We're moving lines.
Absolutely. I think you have to have a few more commas in your betting numbers than I do to move lines. All right. I'm going in for a twofer on Kent State. They're going in to play Ball State. I'm Kent State plus 13 and the over 42. So I will have eyeballs on that one for sure because I'm double dipping.
I just had a thought.
What's up?
It's totally random and out of the blue, but what kind of college football slate is there next week during like Thanksgiving, Black Friday? Are we getting games next week, I wonder? I'm just curious because I know we're going to have, obviously the NFL slate on Thanksgiving Day, but I think there's usually a college football matchup. I don't know. I'm just getting excited about sitting on a couch full of food and drinking beer and watching football.
So I know for a fact that the NFL is having their first ever Black Friday game because the Dolphins are playing the Jets.
Okay.
So there will be that. And then I think usually Ole Miss and Mississippi State play on Black Friday.
Okay.
I think. Remember the dog pee game?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
I think that was a Black Friday Ole Miss Mississippi State game. I think.
The Egg
hang on,
Bowl.
I'm gonna pull this up
The
and
Egg
see
Bowl,
if,
is that they call it? The Egg
is it? I always get all those confused. There's the Iron Bowl, the Egg Bowl.
Let's see.
Iron Bowl is
Oh yeah, no, it's the
Auburn, right?
Thanksgiving Day game. It's Thanksgiving night.
Okay.
Ole Miss and Mississippi
Yep.
State. And then there's a lot of Friday games. Oh, hell
Gotcha.
yeah. Black Friday? Oh yeah, there's like 15 games. Or like 12.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That will help pass the time at my in-laws' house.
Tune in next week.
Yeah, a little teaser.
Yeah, you're gonna bring the multi-screen to your in-laws.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. At the very least, I'll bring my laptop so that I can watch what I want on the laptop, regardless of what they have on the big TV.
Yeah.
All right. 2 p.m. Hawaii is coming to coming stateside. I'm going over 44.5 in Hawaii, Wyoming.
Is that like a
got a lot of
equivalent of
overs?
like that's like the equivalent of like an 8 a.m. game for them, huh? Or like 10 a.m. probably.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know what the time difference is between Hawaii and Wyoming, but I probably should have thought about that.
Before, yeah. They might be sleeping.
Wow. Yeah. Hopefully the defense is sleeping and not the offense. That would be.
Yeah.
Then at 2:30, Matt and I both have picks on Utah at Arizona. Utah as a pick. This one scares me a little bit because I don't understand the number. I know Arizona's been better than people thought, but like Utah's legit good. For this to be a pick, I don't understand it, and that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I think I almost took Arizona here just because how stinky the line is. But I do think that Utah, they tend to have no-show games offensively. So I'm wondering if maybe the thought here is that I know that they've had really good offensive output the last 2 weeks, but maybe it's time. I don't know. So you either think that they figured it out and the spread would be more like a touchdown, or that they're gonna revert back to struggling in Arizona. I don't know what Arizona doesn't have a particularly good defense though, do they? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
So it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't
either,
know.
I would have gone the other way with it because of that.
Yeah, it's yeah. We'll see what happens.
But
Matt is on. He's going with the over 44.5.
Yep. And Matt's taking the over.
Utah's defense is really good, so I.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Al.
Okay. I was going to say, so Matt's on the over Utah, Arizona, which honestly, if that game goes over and it's a pick 'em, and these are two surprisingly good, well, one expected good team and one surprisingly good team, I think that could be the makings of a really good game. So I might try and find myself in front of a TV for that one. And then following that game, we get into the 3 o'clock slate, and Matt is taking Duke -3.5 at Virginia. I think I like this one just because Duke's been bad lately. I don't know. Like, they started off the season so well, and they've kind of just dropped off lately. But Virginia's kind of played a little bit better, but they also are really bad. So it's kind of like riding the ship with this pick. So I like Duke -3.5.
All right, nice. Then continuing the 3 o'clock Tulsa, I'm taking Tulsa +2.5. And then Temple going into UAB. I'm laying the 7 with UAB. That's about the max I lay when it's not favorites week. So that's a big number for me to lay. But I think UAB can cover it against Temple at home.
Yeah, and then Matt's taking the under 64.5 in that one as well, which I think makes sense. I don't think Temple's going to put up a bunch of points, and UAB I know runs the ball a lot. So under 64.5.
Yeah. Can I just make a side comment real quick and say, fuck not kicking extra points in overtime? Because I had -3.5 in on Eastern Michigan that just wrapped up in overtime,
Oh
and
no.
Akron kicked a field goal, then Eastern Michigan scored
My
to go up by
gosh.
3, and the game's just over. If they kick it, I win my bet. But
Oh no. Yeah.
yeah, it is what it
The-
is.
Overtime betting is always tough. It used to be, the game goes to overtime and your over is still alive no matter what the number is. Now total is, hardly changes because you get a stop in overtime and then all of a sudden you're doing 2-point conversions. So, yeah, it's tricky. And then also with the NFL, their rule in overtime too, or, you don't get the extra point. You got to remember, if you got a touchdown spread, it ain't covering. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, that just was on my other screen, so it caught my attention.
Andy,
So yes, I'm gonna win this bet.
please explain why you're going back into the Nevada well here. I thought you were done with them.
I did. I swore them off. Last week I said if they didn't cover for me, I was going to be done. But 11 is too many points. It's Colorado State. They're not good either. This is my last one though. I swear. I promise I'm done with Nevada.
I'm
If they
sorry.
don't
We're
cover
gonna
the
need you to go
11
ahead and
here.
clip that and make that the lead-in to our gambling podcast, Andy. I swear this is the last time. I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that every week from
Yeah.
now on. That's gonna be my new. It's too many points. This is the last time.
Oh yeah, Matt's taking
and then-
the over 47.5 in that one too, which I will definitely not be betting on this game because Colorado State has fucked me too many times. I bet on them, I bet against them, and no matter what I do, I'm on the wrong side. I can't figure them out.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how I feel about Nevada, but we're going back one more time.
The movable force and the what is it?
The unstoppable force and the immovable object.
The stoppable, yeah. So it's the stoppable force and the movable object.
Nice.
Yeah. So obviously you won't be watching that game, but you'll have a good one to put on at 3:30, at least for half of a game. Georgia at Tennessee. I am laying 10 with Georgia. Do not be afraid to lay the points with the dogs here. Brock Bowers is back. That Georgia offense is clicking. I think they put up like 45 or 50 plus points in like 5 straight games. They're humming. Tennessee, Joe Milton cannot even throw a forward pass. I don't know if you saw the clip of him. When they played Missouri, he fumbled the ball attempting to pass it, but it went forward like 15 yards into the arms of a corner who just like fell on it. Easiest fumble recovery ever. Like ridiculous. So yeah, he's not feeling it. He's not going to have it in him to keep this one close.
If Danny would take that Joe Milton slander, but he's not, and
he
I'm
is
fine
handsome
with it.
though.
So
He
let's keep it
is
moving.
handsome. He's a handsome man.
That is true.
All
right.
Matt's playing. Sorry, Matt's taking 6.5 with North Carolina at Clemson. So yeah, I don't know. I thought about this game too. I thought about taking either side of it, and I was like, I'm just gonna lay off. I don't know what to make of it. I could see either team covering.
Yeah, this one was close for me. If it was a touchdown, I probably would have taken UNC, but even with all the issues and everybody talking so much shit about Clemson, like they're still not a bad football team. They've had a couple of clunkers, but they can also steamroll you. So
yeah,
I'm gonna stay away. But next we've got Illinois, Iowa. Matt is
coward.
3.5
You
with Iowa.
coward, Andy.
For what? Not taking Illinois?
No, for taking an Iowa over.
That's not a coward. That makes me brave.
No,
makes me brave.
I guess in a sense it does, right? One day the well has to dry up eventually.
That's the thought. That's the thought. And not that Illinois has like a powerhouse offense or anything, but our new quarterback that came in did throw the second most passing yards in an Illini game of all time this past week. So there's that.
I mean,
and our defense is terrible. So Iowa could actually score on Illinois' terrible defense. So
yeah,
between
that's
those
what I was
two
gonna
things,
say.
I think it goes over.
Yeah, like you do know your team, and I do know that Indiana covered this number by themselves last week. So, when I guess Illinois did too. So I get where it's coming from. That said, Matt is laying 3.5 with Iowa. I'm not sure how I feel about this, like free from the burden of his children, Kirk Barron's Iowa team. You know, I don't know what to make of them.
I actually showed number value on that number as well. Iowa minus 3.5. I'm not betting against my team this week. This one just means too much. I don't want to be rooting against them, but I do show value there. I think Matt's probably on the right side. And while we're talking Illinois, Iowa, it is unbelievable, but there are only 2 weeks left in the college football season, and Illinois is technically still alive for the Big Ten West. They are exactly 2 games behind Iowa, and we've got 2 games left. One of them is against Iowa, and then we play Northwestern in the final week, and Iowa plays Nebraska. If Nebraska beats Iowa and Illinois beats Iowa this week, we would be tied in record and have the head-to-head. So theoretically, we could still win the Big Ten West. We don't deserve to, but
it's middle of November, and Illinois could technically be in the college football playoffs. you can talk yourself into it. I get it.
I don't think so.
It could happen.
Maybe in the 12-team format, if they give like an automatic bid to a Power 5 conference winner. Illinois makes the championship game. I don't know. Michigan's bus crashes. The cheerleaders have to play, and Illinois beats them. But yeah, that's.
Well, I'll let you dream about it at least for another week,
or
at least another 3 days.
All right, so next we've got NC State, Virginia Tech. Danny and I are on the same play here. We were both taking NC State plus 2.5. I really, really wish this was 3 or 3.5, but I did still show enough value on it to take it. Doesn't feel great betting on NC State this year.
I really like this pick, actually. I think NC State's quarterback has looked really good. They just put a new one out there, I believe, and they looked really good. Virginia Tech obviously had a great game against BC last week. But I don't know. I still don't think Virginia Tech's good enough to be favored against anyone. So I like it.
All right, nice. And then also at 3:30, we've got Wake Forest going into Notre Dame. I'm double dipping here too. I'm taking Wake plus 24.5 and over 47.5. I will probably also do the thing here that I talked about a couple of weeks ago, where I will do the first half Wake plus number and the over. You get big spreads like that with relatively low totals, and you basically need Wake to like score one time in the first half, and it becomes impossible to lose both bets. You could still win both bets, but it's impossible to lose both if Wake scores. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, so I can't do math yet, but it's like 8.
23.5 and plus 12 or something. So yeah.
Yeah, so if Wake scores a touchdown, you can't lose both bets.
Yeah.
Now, Wake could get skunked in the first half and you lose both bets, but
yeah,
it's a fun little system to play the first half of these big spread games.
I like it.
I'll probably be doing that. Thanks. I'm taking ULL plus 16 at Troy. That feels gross, but it's too many points.
So what kind of bugs me is they used to be Louisiana Lafayette, and now they're just Louisiana, and they dropped the Lafayette, and now I'm always confused if it's like a different team or if it's the same team. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but you got to stick with it, I say.
I get confused by that one too because
there's
I think
also
they
a
still use the
Lafayette.
Lafayette sometimes.
Well, there's also
Is
like
there?
in college basketball, there's a Lafayette, and then there's
Right.
Louisiana Lafayette, which is now Louisiana. And so then I don't know. There'll be times I see Lafayette, I'm like, wait, which one is it?
Yeah, I get
Sorry.
confused with all the different Louisianas too. But
Airing of grievances
hopefully
with
this is the right
Al.
one.
Sorry.
It's not Festivus yet.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm laying 3 with Air Force because I support our troops, and they're better than UNLV. So.
Wow, it's a pretty dangerous time to be an inconvenient time to be supporting our troops, our military, Andy.
Yeah.
You know, it's very brave of you. I respect it. All right, we're gonna go to California. I am laying less than a touchdown, 6.5 points with the Trojans hosting UCLA. I think this is essentially Caleb Williams' swan song. I think he plays well. I think UCLA, Chip Kelly's dead man walking. So I really like this play.
Yeah, I like this too. If I was on this game, that's definitely what I'd be doing. But
you're not. But you could be.
No. Yeah, maybe by Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm also laying 27.5 with Ohio State hosting Minnesota. I'm in on Ohio State. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to cover. I'm not afraid to bet them on big spreads. This one being less than 4 touchdowns feels good because I think they covered last week, and the number was like 31.5. So not really worried about it. I think they'll cover this one. So Ohio State minus 27.5.
Love it. I show that there is a little bit of value there, but it's not favorites week, so I'm not laying that big of a number. But I like it.
Even if it
I
was
like
favorites week, I don't think I've ever seen you lay almost 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think the biggest I laid that week was 17, and it was with Ohio State, and they covered. So
yeah, there you go.
Speaking of big spreads that are too many points, New Mexico State Auburn. Matt is taking New Mexico State plus 23.5. That's bold. That's,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know which side of that bet I dislike more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bet for me, but Matt loves him some stinky bets, and that's a stinky one. So it'll probably hit.
That's true.
He's got a nose for these things.
That's true.
Yeah, let's move. I guess we're already in the 4 o'clock window, but I'm going to take 22.5 with Arizona State hosting Oregon. I think Arizona State may have just fired their coach, and if that is the case, I like this less. But I feel like they've played competitively, and I think Oregon might kind of be looking ahead like a coasting game. And I think Oregon would be happy to win this one by 3 touchdowns, which would cover.
Interesting. I just binged Arizona State, and I'm not seeing anything about their coach.
Okay. Maybe I made it up.
Their AD stepped down
maybe that's
yesterday.
what I'm thinking of. Okay.
So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Arizona State, take the point.
I'm gonna take the under there. Unders are scary against Oregon, but they're on the road, and 54 is a big number. So I'm gonna hold my nose and pray that this one stays low, which would also probably be good for you.
Yeah, I'm taking the point. You're taking the under. We're the Predator meme. I'm Arnie, and you're Carl Weathers. And let me explain the meme. Okay, if you haven't seen it, it's 2 guys. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, bro handshaking with their flexing biceps. One side, yeah, you get it. Everyone's seen it. I don't need to explain it. It's the inside joke.
Explaining memes is my favorite thing in the entire world. But it's a good thing we're shaking hands on that one because we're fighting.
Yeah, because we're fighting with the other hand.
Go ahead. You take this one first.
Yeah, so I'm laying 10 with USA. Andy, Mr. I support the troops, apparently does not support USA, South Alabama, who is hosting Marshall. Marshall's not very good this year. I think things just kind of fell off for them. Meanwhile, South Alabama, the Jaguars are humming along, so I just think it's a really good spot for some value on the Jags. So, and the plus are at home, so I like them.
I think that humming comes to an end on Saturday. Marshall's going to keep this one close. South Alabama might be the Jaguars, but have you seen their logo? It's a gerbil. I am not not betting on the Fighting Gerbils. Marshall plus 10.5.
Deep cut. Love it.
All right. That takes us into the primetime slate. Kansas State. That should be a fun matchup. I'm going to go over 55.5 and just hope for a bunch of points. I think that'll be a fun game. So,
yeah, I Kansas seems to have their act together now, but I haven't watched any of Kansas State this year, so I really don't have any read on how that game's going to go. So, rooting for points is always fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So Danny on the next game is laying 3 with Boise State on the road at Utah State. Boise State is another one of those teams that I can't seem to pin them down. When I bet on them, they do poorly. When I fade them, they do well. So I wish Danny the best on this one. Good luck, sir, and hope it covers for you.
So Boise State's another one that just fired their coach. So I wonder if he's doing a new coach bounce.
Oh,
kind
that's
of
for
thing.
sure
That's
what's
at
happening
least
here.
The second one.
Yeah, that's
where
Danny's
he's
whole MO this week. New coach bounce.
Andy Avalos. Yep.
Didn't NC State fire their OC or something, or did I make that up? Because that's the other team he's on that I see. I'm probably just making that up.
I didn't see that, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah. I'm not breaking news, so I'm sure I'm wrong. So the next
you give the next pick. I'll look.
Yeah, the next game on our slate is Washington at Oregon State. Oregon State is a 1-point favorite in this one. I'm going to take them. This is another stinky line like that Utah line. Oregon State is a very tough place to win on the road. So, yeah, I guess I'm betting on the Beavers to upset the Huskies here. I don't know. I don't love it, but it's more like a logic play than a heart play. That's it. I've also, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that game, Andy? I was going to jump to the next one.
I'm just kind of surprised by that line again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, interesting. I think I'd probably be on the other side, but it'll be a fun one to watch either way.
Yeah, sometimes, like, when there's these stinky lines, I always say, oh, what's the obvious side that you want to bet? It would be Washington, right? Washington getting a point against a less good Oregon State team. Take the point with Washington. And then they go, no, the reason that line is that way is because they want you to do that. So take the other side, Oregon State. But sometimes when they open this early like this, by the time the weekend rolls around, it doesn't sound like a very smart bet, and it ends up being that everyone thought that, and everyone's on Oregon State, and so the smart play is actually taking the point with Washington. So I don't know. As it stands, I'm on Oregon State, and that's where it will stand. But we'll see if it ends up being a smart play or not. That said, let's jump to FIU Arkansas, where Matt is taking 29.5 points with the Panthers at Arkansas. I guess it's just too many points. I think he's Matt's going for what would Andy do logic here.
Yeah, it might be too many points, but not enough for me to bet on FIU. No, thank you.
We should get like friendship bracelets made up that say like WWAD, and then on the other side say TTMP. Like, what would Andy do? And that's too many points.
That's too many points. I love it. Speaking of friendship bracelets, Florida's going to Missouri,
Nice.
and Al and I are on the Gators.
Yeah, we made up
What
over
are your thoughts there?
over the previous
Yeah.
matchup. So yeah, I just think so. It's weird that my logic was like I really like Florida, thinking, oh, this is gonna be like a noon game in Missouri that no one cares about. These are the kind of games where Florida's gonna show up and make a little noise. And then I was like, oh, it's a night game. It's like more like prime time. Maybe Missouri will get up for it, and I like it a little bit less. But I just, even still, 12 is too many points. I think Florida's going to have more talent on the field. Missouri, I mean, outside of, I guess, probably two positions, right, being quarterback and receiver, specifically like Luther Burden and whatever Missouri's quarterback's name is, because he's pretty good. But the Gators should probably have more talent, more stars on the field in terms of recruiting than Missouri, maybe even like twice over. And that just says to me that this one's going to be closer than an almost 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Missouri might have the better coach too in Eli Drinkowitz over Billy Napier, but it's still too many points. It's still too many points because they're going to have better athletes at every other position. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah. And then at the same time, Kentucky is going to South Carolina, and I'm laying 1.5 with Kentucky here. This is another kind of questionable line, but this one I'm just taking the bait on. South Carolina has been bad, and I think Kentucky is not particularly good, but I think they're a lot better than South Carolina. A lot more than 1.5 points better.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I think I've got the last two plays of the night.
Yeah.
That was the last primetime game at 7:30. There's an 8 o'clock game, Syracuse, Georgia Tech. I'm taking Syracuse plus the 6.5. There's another one I really wished was 7, but 6.5 is still enough value. Syracuse has been really up and down. Good to start the season. Then they completely tanked. They've been coming back a little bit since the Boston College loss. So I like him getting almost a touchdown here.
If they cover, they need to lose, because I think I have them in my bad team draft.
Nice.
All right, bring us up, Andy. What's the last one?
Last game of the night, San Diego State, San Jose State. I'm taking San Diego State plus 2.5 touchdowns on the road. That's just too many points. Plus, I might be getting this logic backwards, but San Diego State's coach, Brady Hoke, just announced that he was going to retire at the end of the season. So I'm thinking, even though he's still their coach, you kind of get like a new coach bounce.
Like a similar... win one for the Gipper?
Exactly. 14.5 is too many points for a win one for the Gipper game. So,
and this is a bit of a rivalry game, right? I think it's
I would imagine
the main rivalry between these schools. I don't know. I might be making that up just because they're both San California State schools.
They both have Spanish names, so they've got to be rivals. That's
sí, señor.
The Battle of the Saints. How's that?
Yeah. Saint Diego. The Battle of the Whales Vagina.
There we go.
It's a massive trophy. It's a massive trophy.
All right. Let's give out our ChuggieBets, and let's pick ChuggieBets for Matt and Danny. I'll let you pick Danny's.
Okay.
I'll pick Matt's.
Okay.
Do you know yours already?
Yeah, mine's App State. I'm taking the 12 with App State. I think it would be USC, but I like to. I don't know. I think App State has a chance to win outright, so it's App State.
Nice. I am going to go with Utah. Utah pick at Arizona. And then have you had a chance to look through Danny's?
Yeah. Is it wrong of me? Is it illegal if I pick Akron for him because they already covered?
Yes, that is illegal.
All right, take me away. I'll do under 33. Danny's taking under 33 in the East Carolina Navy game as his Chucky bet.
I like that. And then Matt for his Chuggy bet is going
Make
to
it Sacred
take.
Heart.
I thought about it. While I was scrolling through here. We're gonna go New Mexico State plus 23.5 at Auburn.
Ooh. Are you doing that to be mean, or you actually like that play?
Yeah. No, I think. I mean, hey, he put it on the spreadsheet. All right. I didn't put that on the spreadsheet.
You know,
so
if he was more committed to the podcast and not spending quality time with his wife tonight, then he could make the pick himself.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly. This will teach him. All right. Thanks for hanging out.
New Mexico State gonna win out right now.
Yeah, bet your whole bankroll on their money line.
Plus 6,000.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Right. Good job, Andy.
You too.
You did it.
Yep. Go Florida. Good night, Joey.
Cheers. Bye, Matt.